Man, when I heard about Drake Hogestyn, it really hit me hard.
Yeah,
And I'm not even like a diehard Days of Our Lives fan. But still, you got to admit, John Black, that name's iconic.
absolutely. He was a daytime legend for sure.
It's those obituaries, though,
Yeah.
They get me every time. It's like you stumble on these little mini biographies, and they're full of stuff you'd never expect.
Oh, for sure. You can learn so much about a person by how they're remembered, right?
Exactly. And Hogestyn's, well, let's just say this deep dive is going to be something else.
I'm ready. What surprised you the most?
Honestly, the guy's journey. Talk about unexpected paths. I mean, we're talking small-town Indiana, Fort Wayne, to be precise.
Humble beginnings.
Right. And then, get this. The man was a double major in college. Microbiology and applied sciences. Pre-dentistry. Can you picture it? Drake Hogestyn. DDS.
Wow. Talk about a different path. What do you think, did that analytical mind help him with acting?
I've actually been wondering the same thing. Like, maybe that drive to understand, to really dig deep, that fed into his performances.
It's interesting to think about. It wasn't just about memorizing lines for him. He brought a certain depth to his roles.
He did. But hold on, we can't talk acting just yet. We got to talk baseball.
Oh, yeah, the baseball years?
The guy was drafted by the Cardinals,
Incredible.
then by the Yankees.
No way. Are you serious?
Dead serious. Can you imagine being in that position, having to choose between two legendary teams? That's a tough call.
Talk about a crossroads. To have that kind of athletic talent, it really makes you wonder what could have been.
It's like a whole other life, right? But then that injury in '77, it changes everything.
A pivotal moment, for sure. Instead of letting it defeat him, though, he reinvents himself. Talk about resilience.
And talk about a love story. Get this. He almost missed his Days of Our Lives audition because he was so head over heels for his future wife, Victoria.
Really?
He was ready to fly back to Indiana just to be with her. Almost threw away the role that would make him famous. All for love.
Wow. That says a lot about him, doesn't it?
Right. That's the kind of guy he would love and family over everything.
Yeah.
Thank goodness you went to that audition, though, right?
Speak for yourself. I'm sure Victoria's happy, too. But seriously, what a sliding doors moment, huh?
Total sliding doors. So he goes to this audition, almost reluctantly, carrying the Bourne identity in his briefcase.
Interesting choice. You think he was trying to make a statement?
Right. And apparently he looked at the casting director and said, "Are you talking about Jason Bourne?"
He saw it, even then.
Like he knew there was more to John Black, even if the role was only supposed to be temporary at first.
And thank goodness the casting team saw it, too.
Okay, so for those who might not be soap opera experts, Days of Our Lives is kind of a big deal.
To say the least.
And John Black, this mysterious character, always forgetting who he was. It could have been so one-dimensional, but Hogestyn brought this whole other level to it.
He really did.
He never just phoned it in.
Never. He was so dedicated to his craft. You know, I read that he spent an entire week just watching the other actors on set when he first started.
Really?
He said he felt like a sponge trying to soak it all up.
That's amazing. It speaks to his work ethic.
It really does. He understood that even with natural talent, you always have more to learn.
And speaking of talent, we got to talk about him and Deidre Hall. John and Marlena. Their chemistry was off the charts.
Electric.
But it was more than acting.
Oh, absolutely. They had this incredible friendship off-screen, too. Deidre Hall said it herself. The moment Hogestyn walked into the room, she knew. There was no question.
Wow.
She just knew he was the one.
Sometimes you just know, right?
Yeah.
But even with all that success, life still throws curveballs. Remember when he left Days for a bit?
Oh, yeah. For a while, but he came back, thankfully.
He did. And it just goes to show life's a roller coaster. And that's actually a perfect segue to something he once said. He said, you got to be ready for that downswing, even when you're on top of the world.
Man, ain't that the truth, though?
Right. It's like he knew success can be fleeting, but it's about the whole ride, not just the highs.
Exactly. And for Hogestyn, it wasn't just about being a big star. Yeah, he was talented, no doubt, but he had this integrity. It shone through everything he did.
It really did. Like, remember how he almost walked out on that audition? Family came first.
Totally. And then the dedication he brought to his acting, he wasn't just going through the motions.
No way.
He became John Black for millions of people. That's something special to make you believe in it like that.
It's that connection, right?
Yeah.
Makes it real. And speaking of John Black, that roller coaster quote, it makes me think.
What's on your mind?
Playing the same character year after year, even one as complex as John Black, it could get old.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
But Hogestyn kept it fresh, found those little nuances, like he was always learning, always finding something new.
He understood how those long-running shows work. Gotta keep reinventing, find new depths, even when it's familiar.
It's like every storyline, every twist and turn, he saw it as a chance to grow. As an actor, as a person, all of it.
And you mentioned earlier that scientific side of him.
Yeah.
Maybe that played a part too.
You think?
Always analyzing, looking for the why.
Huh. And don't forget the baseball.
Oh, right. Up and down, win some, lose some.
That's got to teach you something about resilience.
Absolutely. How to handle the good times and the bad. And he seemed to really appreciate it all. The fans, his career. He never acted like it was owed to him.
Not for a second.
In a town like Hollywood, that's rare.
He stayed grounded. And
Yeah.
that's what people connected with.
It's like he knew being a good actor wasn't enough. Being a good person, that mattered too.
Absolutely. And that's what we're talking about, right? His legacy. It's the impact you have on others.
Drake Hogestyn, he was a giant in more ways than one.
No doubt about it. So we've talked about his career, his dedication to family. But there's one more thing. Can't forget this. Deidre Hall.
Ah, the partnership that defined an era.
On screen, it was legendary. But off screen, that friendship, that's the real deal.
They had something truly special. They challenged each other, pushed each other to be better.
And you can see it in every interview they did together. So much respect, genuine admiration.
Proof that collaboration can really elevate you, both as an artist and as a person.
Makes you think. Success. It's not just what you achieve alone. It's about those connections you make along the way. It really makes you think about who you surround yourself with, you know, those people that push you but have your back when things get rough. And speaking of rough, that whole roller coaster thing Hogestyn talked about, it's really stuck with me.
It's true though, isn't it? Life's full of ups and downs.
Right. And he knew that. Even at the top, you got to be ready for what comes next.
It's like he was saying, don't get too caught up in the good times or the bad.
Exactly. It's about the whole journey, not just the highlights. And, you know, maybe that's the biggest takeaway from all of this.
What do you mean?
It's not just about achieving great things, although, I mean, he definitely did that. But it's how you handle it all. The ups, the downs, with grace, with humility.
And never forgetting the people who matter most.
Exactly. He never lost sight of that.
He really didn't. And his legacy, that's what it's all about. Not awards, not fame, but the difference you make.
He left his mark, that's for sure.
He did. Drake Hogestyn's story, it's one for the ages.
Absolutely. And even though he's gone, the memories, the impact he had, that'll stay with us.
Well said.
And on that note, that wraps up our deep dive into the incredible life of Drake Hogestyn. For anyone who wants to explore further, we'll have some links in the show notes. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and remember, it's all one wild ride.